Sarah sat on her living room couch, contemplating her career. She felt stuck and uncertain. Her spouse, Alex, noticed her concern and asked what was bothering her. Sarah explained that she had been working in marketing for 8 years, but had lost her passion. Alex suggested seeking advice from someone with more experience. Sarah sought advice from Maya, her career mentor and friend. Maya advised her to frame the problem. They met up, and Sarah expressed her desire to rediscover her passion and purpose. Maya suggested starting by identifying the core issue.
Knowing how to frame a problem effectively is super important if you want to be successful at problem solving. One of the key things in problem framing is defining the scope of the problem. By setting boundaries, you can really zero in on the most important parts of the challenge you're tackling. In this lesson, we'll delve into why defining the problem scope is a big deal and share some techniques to help you do it like a pro.
Throughout their conversation, Sarah realized that she enjoyed creating content and engaging with people, but disliked the pressure to meet sales targets and corporate politics. Maya acknowledged this insight and suggested finding a path that allowed Sarah to focus on what she loved. Over the next few weeks, Sarah researched content-related roles, attended networking events, and took online courses to enhance her skills. With Alex's support, she regained her confidence. The scope of a problem defines the extent, boundaries, and limits of the challenge you are addressing. It outlines what is included and excluded from consideration in your problem-solving efforts. Defining problem scope is significant for several reasons. First, it helps you keep your efforts concentrated on the core problem without getting lost in peripheral issues. Second, it helps in efficient resource allocation. You can allocate time, money, and manpower precisely to address the specific problem components. Third, it helps in breaking down the challenge into manageable parts and avoids overwhelming complexity. Fourth, problem scope ensures that your problem-solving efforts align with your overall goals and objectives. There are several techniques you can use to define the scope of a problem. One is mind mapping. You can visualize the problem using a mind map. Identify the main issue in the center and branch out to related factors. This helps clarify the boundaries of the problem. Another is problem trees. Similar to a decision tree, a problem tree breaks down the problem into its causes and effects. This technique helps you understand the problem's scope by analyzing its various dimensions. Stakeholder analysis is another technique. Consider the perspectives of different stakeholders to determine what aspects of the problem are most relevant to their interests. This helps in narrowing down the scope. Constraints identification is also helpful. Identify any limitations, constraints, or restrictions that impact the problem. This helps in understanding what can and cannot be included in the scope. Finally, applying SMART criteria is useful. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. Applying these criteria to the problem description ensures that the scope is well-defined and manageable. It's important to strike the right balance between a comprehensive scope and a narrow focus. A scope that's too broad can lead to diluted efforts, while an overly narrow scope might miss important factors. Stakeholder input is valuable, but conflicting interests can make defining scope challenging. Open communication and negotiation